Although no claims were ever registered in her name, Kate Carmack played a key role in the discovery of Klondike gold.
She was absolutely a catalyst and a mover and a shaker in this Klondike Gold Rush. I acknowledge my Auntie Kate Carmack and the role that she played in the supporting of all these men in history.
It's important to tell this story because Kate was not just overlooked in history, she was also miswritten into history where she was written in. If it wasn't for her, the Klondike discovery wouldn't have happened in the way that it did.
It was Kate's knowledge of the land that helped the prospectors survive.
There's no doubt in my mind that her skills and knowledge and connection to the fish, into the water, and to the mountains themselves certainly benefited George in their travels down the river.
Stories of Kate Carmack and the discovery of Klondike gold have been passed down through generations.
One story has it that they had gotten a moose and that they were taking a little break. And Skookum Jim went down to the creek to get some water, in which he found a sizable nugget in this creek.
When he dipped his pot in like that, he saw something shining in the water, so he picked it up and he brought it back and he showed it to George Carmack. And he said, "Look at this." He said, "What is it?" And George Carmack said, "That's what we're looking for." He said, "That's gold."
The events in Kate Carmack's life tell of the long, hard road that led to that discovery.
Kate Carmack was Tagish Tlingit from the area that's now called Carcross.
Kate Carmack, her Tlingit name was Shaw Claw.
She would have gone to spring camp, to fish camp, to fall camp. And so she was probably born over where the community of Tagish is now, in the Tagish Lakes area.
Back then, clan ways of knowing and clan laws sort of prepared the human for the hard life ahead of them, whether they were a man or a woman.
After losing her first husband and daughter to an epidemic, Kate found herself back home. It was there that she encountered George Carmack, who was living with her clan and had also lost his wife. In Kate's culture, no one was left alone.
No man or woman was left behind alone, and neither was George Carmack, in that he was gifted with a second wife, who was Kate Carmack.
That's what they used to do a long time ago. They didn't believe in widows or widowers, you know. They give you another husband, even if you don't know them. You just all of a sudden inherit a new mate.
Kate and George Carmack lived by working in trading posts and packing for people crossing the Chilkoot Trail.
Tlingit and Tagish women would pack up to 75 pounds over this really arduous trail, the 33 meanest miles on earth that's called the Chilkoot Trail.
Crossing the Chilkoot Trail, Kate would hunt small game and sew coats, mucklucks, moccasins, and gloves.
I know for a fact that Kate's knowledge of this land and how to navigate it and survive in it certainly got George through some tough times.
In the early days, it took a long time to go from one place to another because everybody had to walk or they had to go by boat, you know.
She was doing the best that she could with what she had, with everything that she knew.
Family hadn't seen Kate or George for 2 years. They came to look for them around what is now Dawson City.
They stayed the summer and were planning to head back down this way to where Kate and Jim and Charlie and Patsy were from, but they ended up discovering gold instead, and that really changed the course of history in so many ways.
My grandma said that she heard that he had 16 people packing his gold and stuff out when they got out of there. That's a lot of people, eh? 16 people packing packs of gold.
Now rich, George traveled with Kate to his family in California. George went back to the Yukon, leaving Kate, but she found her way home to Carcross, living out her life with little money.
And she navigated her way back home, and that, I think, is a happy ending to her story, because in the end, although she was really instrumental in this discovery, her brother and her nephew did come into some wealth from the gold. She didn't, because she was written out of all that. George, her husband, kept everything in her lifetime, but she came home to her true wealth, which was her culture and her stories.
Echoes of Kate's character can still be heard through her story that is now being told.
I think she had to been quite a tenacious lady and full of courage, with a lot of strength and intuition. She would speak her mind, because that's how she was raised. So I think that's important too, in the kind of the strength that she had. And yeah, that she's just a person I wish I would have known. She was a trailblazer, and I'm thankful that we're here clearing her trail, and that she will be inducted into the Canadian Mining Hall of Fame. It makes me feel so proud, and that a nation is acknowledging Shakla Ganeshtish.